Hello, good morning. So, the water contamination results in wastewater and how to treat wastewater we have seen, and to a satisfactory extent we have dealt with water pollution. And the reasons for water pollution we have seen as the fats, oils and gases, burning of fossil fuel, petroleum products, then the human and animal waste, then various solid waste, then radioactive elements, then the e-waste, for example, leaching of lead, it reaches the soil, when water flows through the soil, takes. So, various causes are there for water to get contaminated in due course, polluted, which result in wastewater either as sewage or an effluent. Similarly, in the case of air, you have to assess the quality and ensure that you get good quality air for our survival. The human race, the flora and fauna all exist, survive only when the water is almost pure, less contaminated, and air is also pure with the least contamination. Since air and water are the two inevitable agents or sources in the existence, survival of all living organisms. So if any problem either in water or in air, directly or indirectly, will tell upon the human health, the animals, birds, plants, all will have an adverse effect if these two major elements, which will be on use in daily basis without any break till the organisms exist. So the next thing, as we have seen, is the air pollution. The role of a civil engineer in dealing with air pollution is minimal, unlike the water treatment plants and other things. Here, the role of a mechanical engineer will be more relevant. But just to have an idea about air pollution, you have the air quality exterior, outdoors, and air quality indoors, interior, when you bifurcate the space into a macro environment and a micro environment, a built environment and an open environment. We feel that air quality is getting affected and is poor outdoors, exterior. But in actual case, like the air quality depreciation or depression, exterior, and air quality interior depletion or depreciation or depression is almost the same. Air quality interior also get seriously affected because of the contaminants, pollutants. So when you deal with air pollution interior and air pollution exterior have to be dealt in detail. Air shall be fresh, clean, fresh, pure air. That is possible when air is rich in oxygen. The oxygen level in air is more. The possibility of contamination of the air and pollution of air will be less. Rich, oxidized, naturally oxidized air. How it is possible? You should have large open area free of any buildings. Instead of, you should have large, thick vegetation, plants, agricultural fields, algae growth, gardens, landscaping. There, the role of civil engineer peeps in. So, when you think of a civil engineering practice, provision has to be given to apportion, allot spaces for vegetation, growing of trees, open yards, and thick vegetation. Nature itself has bifurcated the land like that, the land for cultivation and land for construction. But we encroach the land for cultivation for construction. The remaining area for the growth of plants and trees gets reduced, which results in poor quality of air. Whenever inhabitation is more, whenever population is more, possibility of air getting its quality depleted is more. Oxygen becomes carbon dioxide. When you start breathing, you inhale oxygen, let out carbon dioxide. So one major contaminant in air is carbon dioxide. And there is a more severe and dangerous contaminant, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is very dangerous as far as existence, life is concerned. It's a silent killer. So, we should restrict these two gases accumulating the quantity of air by which reducing its quality. So atmosphere shall have less carbon dioxide and less carbon monoxide, least carbon monoxide. The advantage of plants that they take carbon dioxide available in the atmosphere, then they let out oxygen. That is the beauty of plants. If you have plants and trees grown around the habitation, two advantages. One, the carbon dioxide gets reduced, which will help the carbon trade, which will advantageously assist the global warming and climate change. At the same time, supply fresh oxygen to the atmosphere of air. That is why we emphasize growth of plants and trees around habitation, any township or any industry. There should be a thick vegetation cover for all polluting resources. Whenever you have industries are polluting resources, industrial gases, emission of carbon dioxide, emission of carbon monoxide, obnoxious gases. So, some shield or cover, vegetation, cover of vegetation is required to convert the carbon dioxide to oxygen. Then the exhaust of vehicles, vehicle exhaust, because the intensity, volume, and density of traffic have considerably increased, and they are increasing day by day. There are places in all countries, especially in India, if you take Delhi, the air has become that much polluted by which even stringent regulations of flow of traffic, curtailment of total traffic flow was necessary in recent days. So, traffic volume, their exhaust create problem. Similarly, the particulate matters, PARTICULATE, particulate matter.
Hello, my name is Janine Wright. I'm an air quality specialist with Washoe County Air Quality Management Division. This is a short educational video about particulate matter, what it is, why we're concerned about it, and where it comes from. So what exactly is particulate matter? It's a pollutant found in the air that includes dust, dirt, soot, smoke, and liquid droplets. Particulate matter, also known as PM, is a year-round pollutant, but is of greater concern, especially in our region, during the winter months due to temperature inversions like the one shown in this photo. During these inversions, pollutants can be trapped for several days at a time, basically until the weather changes and the inversion breaks and the wind blows it out of the valley. There are two sizes of particulate matter that are regulated by the EPA. Particles between 2.5 and 10 microns are called coarse particulates, or PM10. These are of concern to human health as they are small enough to be inhaled and accumulate in the respiratory system. Particles of 2.5 microns or less are referred to as PM2.5 or fine particulates, and are a greater health risk than PM10 as they can reach deeper into the lungs. So how does particulate matter affect my health? Children are especially susceptible to the effects of particulate matter as their respiratory systems are still developing. The elderly and adults with chronic heart or lung diseases are also more likely to experience the effects. However, healthy adults can also feel these effects from particulate matter. Fine particulates, as I mentioned before, can get deeper into the lungs and cause serious health problems such as decreased lung function, aggravated asthma, development of respiratory disease in children, irregular heartbeat, non-fatal heart attacks, premature death in people with heart or lung disease, increased susceptibility to heart and vascular disease for postmenopausal women, and increased risk of lung cancer. So where does particulate matter come from? PM10 or coarse particles come from crushing or grinding operations and dust from construction or unpaved roads. Fine particulates come from combustion activities, including wildfires, power plants, some industrial processes, motor vehicles, and wood burning, such as in your fireplace or wood stove. Our burn code is in place to help reduce the wood smoke in the Truckee Meadows, as this accounts for nearly half of all the PM2.5 during the winter months. For more information about particulate matter, visit us at ourcleanair.com.
That is suspended micro solid particles such as dust, then pollen from plants. There are suspended microparticles floating in air, contaminate rather polluting the air. Especially cement industries, for example. Cement industries, thermal power plants. There they emit lot of particulate matter. So there will be some system by which these particulate matters are absorbed, attracted, and air is made less polluted. One such a system is electrostatic precipitate, ESP, electrostatic precipitate. In coal mines, in thermal power plants, in cement factories, in fly ash, in slag, where the production of slag cement takes place. microparticles. They float in air, get suspended in air. They have to be absorbed in the premises of the industry itself, so that the adjacent area, the neighboring area, is not polluted by intermingling with air. So, exterior, you have this. Interior, also you have problem, such as mold or fungus. MOLD, mold, fungus. Then this particulate matters also, dust, industrial dust. So they create problems with lung breathing, breathing difficulty. When the quality of air gets depleted, one common cause for breathing problem is polluted air. That will affect the lungs. So you should have larger openings, large number of openings in the interior, and we should have a habit of opening all the windows during daytime, and as far as possible the windows shall be opened with the proper protection for mosquitoes. We should get ourselves away from mosquitoes. And mosquito, because of the formation of slums, because of non-hygiene, unhygienic conditions, because of accumulation of solid waste, because of ponding of water in small pockets, mosquitoes grow, flies grow. So they should not come interior. So with proper protection for mosquitoes, proper cover for mosquitoes and reptiles, you should facilitate opening. That means the shutters, main shutters of the windows have to be open to facilitate cross ventilation. Ventilation is aeration. As we have seen aeration in water treatment, aeration in interior is nothing but ventilation, natural ventilation. You provide artificial ventilations by fans, air conditioning, exhaust, but natural ventilation is superior to artificial ventilation as far as human health is concerned. So the mold or fungus of different fungi of various types, they affect the air. Air quality is getting depleted because of mold. Air quality is getting depleted because of carbon dioxide, because of the breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Then other emission of gases. Then the particulate matters, dirt and pollen. So these actually affect the quality of air inside as well as outside. So better land use, scientific apportioning of land for built up environment, and scientific apportioning of land for thick vegetation, a vegetation cover, will definitely reduce the air pollution hazards, and the quality of air will get considerably enhanced. Then each industry, it is the duty of each industry to see that their wastewater and their commitment towards air quality monitoring, management and purification each industry has to take themselves as an environment protection activity, process, to protect the environment, to protect the ecology, to reduce the environmental impact. Otherwise, there will be a considerable impact on the environment by which the human race, flora and fauna, and the climate or the weather or the atmosphere or in general environment will get considerably seriously affected. So those are the things which we have to highlight as a second pollution as air pollution. So actually you have five resources, Panchabhutam, as Prithvi, Up, Tejas, Vayu, Akash. Prithvi, Up, Tejas, Vayu, Akash. Up means water, Apaha, up. So we have seen how water gets contaminated or polluted. Vayu, air, how air gets contaminated or polluted. Now next is the land pollution, earth, land pollution that we will see by God's grace tomorrow. Thank you. God bless.